welcome to the right place. If you love DIY projects, creative upcycling, and farmhouse garden decor, you're in for a treat. Today, we're diving into brilliant ways to transform ordinary trash into stunning garden decorations. Have you ever looked at old, worn-out items and wondered if they could have a second life? Instead of tossing them out, why not turn them into stunning farmhouse garden decor? With a little creativity and a few simple tools, you can transform everyday trash into charming, rustic treasures that bring character and warmth to your outdoor space. Get ready for some brilliant DIY upcycling ideas that will breathe new life into forgotten materials. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our creative DIY ideas. If you love farmhouse aesthetics and love repurposing junk into gems, give this video a thumbs up and let us know in the comments which project is your favorite. Now let's jump into these amazing upcycling ideas. One, rustic planters from repurposed containers. One of the easiest ways to add farmhouse charm to your garden is by repurposing old containers into rustic planters. Think tin cans, wooden crates, or even vintage teapots. These everyday items can be transformed into unique plant holders with a little creativity. Simply clean, paint, or distress them for that worn, farmhouse look, and you've got an eye-catching planter ready for your favorite flowers or herbs. 'To enhance the farmhouse aesthetic, try stenciling vintage-inspired words onto your containers or wrapping them with burlap and twine. If you have an old wheelbarrow or watering can, turn it into a charming garden centerpiece by filling it with colorful blooms. These DIY planters not only reduce waste, but also add character to your outdoor space without breaking the bank. 2. DIY garden pathway with reclaimed materials. Instead of spending a fortune on a garden path, why not use reclaimed materials to create a stunning walkway? Broken bricks, leftover wooden planks, or even old plates can be arranged into beautiful stepping stones or rustic pathways. This eco-friendly approach not only saves money, but also gives your garden a charming, weathered farmhouse appeal that's truly one of a kind. 'A great way to make your path even more unique is by adding a touch of personalization. Use mismatched tiles to create mosaic stepping stones or engrave family initials onto reclaimed wood pieces before sealing them for durability. The natural, worn look of these materials blends perfectly with the farmhouse style, making your garden feel warm, welcoming, and creatively designed. 3. Upcycled garden furniture with farmhouse flair. Don't toss out that old wooden chair or broken ladder just yet. These forgotten pieces can be upcycled into stunning garden furniture that adds charm to your outdoor space. A distressed wooden bench, a ladder-turned plant stand, or even an old door repurposed into a rustic garden table can instantly transform your garden into a cozy farmhouse retreat. 'Adding a simple whitewash or weathered paint finish can enhance the vintage look of your furniture. You can also use reclaimed wood to craft garden swings, pallet seating, or a decorative trellis. These DIY projects are not just about aesthetics, they're also sustainable ways to breathe new life into discarded furniture while making your garden a stylish haven. 4. Farmhouse-inspired garden decor from scrap items. Old picture frames, rusty metal pieces, and leftover wood scraps might seem like junk, but with a little creativity, they can be transformed into farmhouse-inspired garden decor. Try repurposing window frames into charming outdoor wall art, or use vintage metal tools to create unique sculptures that add rustic charm to your garden. The beauty of farmhouse decor lies in its imperfections. 'Consider making a DIY garden sign from scrap wood and painting it with inspiring quotes or vintage farm motifs. You can also repurpose an old chandelier by turning it into a hanging planter with cascading flowers. These small yet impactful touches will give your garden a warm, inviting feel while showcasing your creativity and love for upcycled treasures. 5. Vintage lighting ideas using recycled items. Lighting can completely transform the ambience of your garden, and you don't need to buy expensive fixtures to achieve a farmhouse look. Old mason jars, tin cans, and even wine bottles can be repurposed into stunning outdoor lights. With fairy lights, candles, or solar-powered bulbs, these recycled items become magical lanterns that add a cozy glow to your farmhouse garden. For a truly vintage touch, try hanging old lanterns from tree branches or repurposing an antique birdcage into a rustic candle holder. Another creative idea is to use an old metal colander as a unique hanging light fixture. These DIY lighting projects not only reduce waste, but also bring a warm, nostalgic charm to your outdoor space, making it feel like a serene countryside escape. Six, repurposed fencing and garden borders. An old fence or discarded wooden pallets can be transformed into stunning garden borders with a charming farmhouse touch. Instead of throwing them away, use them to define your flower beds, vegetable patches, or pathways. Simply cut them into uniform pieces, arrange them in a staggered pattern, and secure them in place for a rustic yet functional garden border. For a more artistic look, paint or distress the wood for that weathered, farmhouse appeal. You can even mix and match materials like old metal headboards or salvage bricks to create unique, upcycled edging. These DIY garden borders not only add structure to your outdoor space, but also help keep your garden organized while embracing the beauty of repurposed materials. 7. Upcycled farmhouse garden signs and labels. Personalized garden signs add a whimsical touch to your space, and you don't need expensive store-bought decor to achieve the look. Old wooden planks, metal sheets, or even broken terracotta pots can be transformed into rustic garden markers. Simply sand them down, paint them with chalk or weather-resistant paint, and stencil on plant names or farmhouse-style quotes for a charming, vintage effect. Another creative idea is to repurpose old silverware like spoons and forks as quirky plant markers. Simply flatten them and engrave or paint on the names of your herbs and flowers. You can also use old window frames as outdoor menu boards or garden quotes to add personality to your space. These DIY signs not only make your garden more inviting, but also give new life to forgotten materials. 8. Rustic water features from salvaged items. Adding a water feature to your farmhouse garden doesn't have to be expensive. Old buckets, bathtubs, or even whiskey barrels can be upcycled into stunning rustic fountains. With a small water pump and a bit of creativity, you can transform these discarded items into peaceful, trickling water features that add charm and tranquility to your outdoor space. If you love the farmhouse look, consider stacking old galvanized tubs to create a cascading water feature or using an antique hand pump to give it a vintage feel. You can also fill an old wooden trough with water and floating flowers for a simple yet elegant touch. These DIY water features not only create a soothing atmosphere, but also showcase the beauty of upcycling. 9. DIY garden trellises from reclaimed wood. If you have climbing plants like roses, ivy, or cucumbers, a DIY trellis made from reclaimed wood is a perfect addition to your farmhouse garden. Instead of purchasing expensive trellises, use old wooden ladders, bed frames, or pallet slats to create sturdy and stylish plant supports. These rustic trellises not only provide structure, but also enhance the vintage charm of your garden. For a more creative twist, use old bicycle wheels or metal gates to create a unique climbing frame. You can even intertwine fairy lights or grapevines for an enchanting farmhouse aesthetic. These homemade trellises are easy to make, environmentally friendly, and give your garden a touch of handcrafted beauty that store-bought versions just can't match. Upcycled garden storage and organization. Keeping your garden organized doesn't mean buying expensive storage solutions. Upcycled items can do the job beautifully. Old dressers, crates, or even repurposed cabinets can be turned into charming garden storage for tools, pots, and seeds. A vintage armoire, for example, can be repainted and sealed for weather protection, creating a functional yet stylish outdoor storage space. Another great idea is to use old tin cans or wooden crates as wall-mounted organizers for smaller garden tools. You can also transform a discarded metal file cabinet into a mobile potting station. These DIY storage solutions not only keep your garden neat and tidy, but also embrace the farmhouse aesthetic by giving a second life to forgotten furniture and materials. (11) DIY hanging planters from household junk. Hanging planters add vertical interest to your farmhouse garden. And the best part is, you can make them from everyday household junk. Old colanders, tin cans, or even teapots can be repurposed into stunning hanging planters. Simply drill a few drainage holes, add some rope or chains, and suspend them from tree branches, pergolas, or your porch for a charming rustic vibe. If you have old wire baskets or bird cages, line them with coconut coir or moss and turn them into vintage-inspired hanging planters. You can even use old boots, metal buckets, or repurposed lanterns to create unique, eye-catching displays. These DIY projects not only make use of discarded items, but also bring a farmhouse feel to your garden with minimal effort. (12) Repurposed farmhouse-style bird feeders. Inviting birds into your garden enhances its beauty and creates a lively atmosphere. Instead of buying store-bought bird feeders, try repurposing old cups, tin cans, or even worn-out boots into unique feeding stations. Simply attach them to wooden posts or hang them from tree branches to create an eco-friendly, farmhouse-inspired haven for birds. Another creative idea is to upcycle old chandeliers by turning them into multiple bird feeders with small dishes. You can also use an old teapot or watering can, adding a rustic touch by hanging it upside down with seeds inside. These charming feeders not only attract wildlife, but also add a decorative farmhouse element to your outdoor space. 13. Vintage window frames as garden decor. Old window frames have endless decorative potential for a farmhouse garden. Instead of tossing them out, use them to create rustic wall art, trellises, or even a unique garden mirror. A distressed wooden frame mounted on a garden wall instantly adds charm and character, making it look like a piece of history in your backyard. 'Another fun way to repurpose window frames is by transforming them into a mini greenhouse. Attach clear plastic or glass panes and use them to protect small plants from the elements. You can also hang them on fences and decorate them with climbing vines or fairy lights for a dreamy, vintage farmhouse effect. 14. Rustic farmhouse herb gardens from salvaged wood. A DIY herb garden is both functional and stylish, especially when made from salvaged wood. Old wooden drawers, crates, or pallets can be transformed into tiered herb planters, giving your garden a rustic farmhouse feel. Label each section with handwritten tags or chalkboard paint to complete the vintage look. 'If you have an old ladder, lean it against a wall and use each rung as a shelf for smaller pots. Another creative idea is to turn an old wooden chair into a planter by cutting out the seat and placing a pot inside. These repurposed herb gardens are not just practical, but also add a cozy, handcrafted touch to your outdoor space. 15. DIY farmhouse garden gates from scrap materials. A rustic garden gate can be a stunning focal point, and you don't need new materials to build one. Old wooden doors, reclaimed barn wood, or even mismatched pallet planks can be transformed into charming farmhouse-style gates. Simply sand them down, add a vintage handle, and attach decorative iron hinges for an authentic, country-style entrance. To add more character, try incorporating an old window frame at the top for a unique peek-through effect. You can also use repurposed metal grates or wrought iron headboards to create a whimsical garden entrance. These DIY gates not only enhance security, but also give your outdoor space a touch of rustic elegance while reducing waste. Closing and conclusion. And there you have it. So many creative ways to transform your trash into treasure with these DIY farmhouse garden decor hacks. Not only do these projects save you money, but they also help reduce waste while adding a unique, personal touch to your outdoor space. Who knew that old junk could turn into something so beautiful? If you love these ideas, don't forget to subscribe to The Right Place for more amazing DIY inspiration. Hit the like button if you're feeling inspired, and let us know in the comments which project you'll try first. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Happy crafting!